Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Unconventional Counseling. Today we are doing a summer solstice pick a card tarot reading, and we're going to talk about the blessings that this longest day is bringing in for you. The summer solstice marks the beginning of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, and it fell on June 21st this year. It also marks the beginning of Cancer season. Shout out to the Cancers! Happy birthday, y'all! So, Earth is super interesting. It rotates 360 degrees, which is how we get the concept of day and night every day. And it also rotates while on its axis, tilting away or towards the sun, which grants us our experience of seasons. With the sun being in the part of the sky known as Cancer, for anyone located in the northern half of the Earth, we experience the longest day. And if you love sunlight, hopefully you spent the 21st outdoors or sunbathing in a window like a cat. And you're tending to a beautiful tan right now. And for anyone located in the southern hemisphere, you'll experience the shortest day and longest night of the year. Because while the northern half is tilted towards the sun, the southern half is tilted away from the sun. So the 21st for you ushers in wintertime. I believe that each of us humans has a unique relationship with the earth, with the sun, with the moon, with astrology. And so, whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, you're going to be feeling a shift at this time. And this shift may coincide with the energy around you that's reflected in the season changing. If you feel like you're not feeling that reflection within yourself due to this shift, check out this other tarot video that I did. If this is the start of summer for you, get ready for a whole lot of solar force energy. As this energy balances out, you may find you have boundless energy, the kind that you've been dreaming of and wanting and waiting on all winter and spring long. And if you have Aries, Leo, Sag placements in your chart, or Cancer or Capricorn, you may sense a shift that reconnects you with your purpose and helps you feel like you can achieve anything. And if this is the start of winter time for you, hopefully you're ready for a season of introspection, of contemplation, of review, and of rest. As this energy balances out over the next few days and weeks, allow Cancer season to offer you a chance to go within, to reconnect to self, to your home, and to those you consider chosen family, so that you can replenish your reserves of energy. Because this is Cancer season, you may find that you resonate with both, wherever you are in the world. So if you feel an oscillation or a bouncing of each of these energies, of wanting to rest and hermit, of wanting to be out there and explore, get ready, because a whole lot is on the horizon. Now let's get into our prayer. Divine Alchemist, angels and archangels, celestial family, ascended masters, and spirit animals. Thank y'all for yet another day where you freely give us guidance, support, and care. Thank you all for being our community and for paving the way for our soul tribe to come in, for our chosen family to come in, for the parts of us to be fully integrated that need to be in order for our people to even resonate with us. Our folks, wherever they are, whoever they are, if we know them already, they are welcome, as are you. Guides, help me to channel a clear, a concise, and a powerfully healing message for those in the collective on their ascension journey. Remind us to hold in our hearts and minds that we are from you, we are a part of you, and we are on a journey that will return us to you. Help us to keep the perspective that we are here to learn, to experience, to heal, to grow, and to ascend. Remind us that we're not here to get it perfect. Remind us that we are unique beings and there is no one quite like us. Help us to hold the duality of being in this world, but not of it. The highest praise to our guides, to our teams, to our celestial families, to our spirit animals, to our guardians, our divine protectors, our angels and archangels, our ancestors for our highest good, our ascended masters who've done this all before us. The highest praise to Mama Gaia. The earth just continues to give and give to us, and we are so grateful. We are so blessed. Holy Spirit. And of course, the highest praise to you as well. We are all we are because of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashe. So here are our 4 piles. We have patience for pile number 1. Sacred beginnings for pile number 2. Mother Nature's balance for pile number 3. And seasons change for pile number 4. Pick the pile or piles that resonate most for you, and we'll get into our reading. See you soon. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. I'm going to read the Patience card in my Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle deck by Mel Brown, and then we'll continue with the tarot portion of our reading. When the wind was created, they loved their ability to fly around the bush, listening to all the animals' voices in the bush. After some time of hearing all the voices, the wind began to feel upset with the nasty things that the animals would say about each other. The wind moved around from the bush to the desert, from the desert to the ocean, but wherever they went, it was the same. More animals saying cruel things to each other. After returning to the desert, the wind realized that nothing would ever change. This made them very mad, and in their anger, they started to turn around in circles, eventually beginning to spin wildly, with the dust being thrown into the air and the dirt and rocks from the ground scattering in all directions. After a while, the wind got tired and just stopped spinning. In their exhaustion, they realized that they were no longer angry and that they felt good. Over time, the wind began to accept that when they got upset, they would simply spin themselves around and around until all their anger and energy had been spent. Then they would just stop and move on until the next time they became upset. Life might feel out of control for you right now, and it's hard to see the light through the dust. You're continuously turning yourself inside out, trying to find ways to deal with this situation. And you're so focused on the situation that you don't realize that sometimes it's not your situation to control. Hand it back to the person who's truly in control, or just simply take a step back. I'm so curious, pile number 1, about what the situation might be, or what more guidance we have for you with this situation. Eight of Cups. I had a feeling it was the Eight of Cups. My Eight of Cups feels different than other cards in the deck. I remember the first time I spilled water on my tarot deck and I was so sad. But it helped me remember whenever the Eight of Cups comes up Two of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. Wow. This reading is shaping up. And the Knight of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so what comes up for me is there's something that you're working really hard on. Maybe it's a creative endeavor. Maybe it's a project at work. Maybe you want to work for yourself. Maybe there's something that you've dreamed up and you're ready. You're ready to take the next steps on. You have, for all intents and purposes, you have taken the next steps. You have done what you can to move this time in your life forward. And you're being asked to have patience. And patience in the story, it didn't say sit down and, be pleasant and smile. It said get angry if you're angry. Feel your feelings. Take a walk. Go on a journey. Do whatever you need to do so that you feel like you're feeling more balanced inside, so that you can keep working on whatever this thing is. We have Black Herman, the Magician. So this journey that you're on, just like the wind, you may end up going from place to place to see if things are a little bit different when you get to the next place. And you may be finding out, this really does feel like work. You may be finding out that every place you go to is very similar. It could also be friend groups as well. It's something that feels very important to you emotionally. Something that would be very nourishing for you if you felt like, if you believed you had it, or if you did have it in the way that you want. And on this journey, you're noticing that every place kind of feels the same. The people seem the same. Things seem the same. It's really disappointing each time you go a place. This journey for you is not to find the perfect job or the friends that are gonna make your life all the much better. The journey is not to find the tangible thing. The journey is to remember that you are the magician. That's what you are becoming on this journey that you're on. Railroad Bill. This is the Chariot card. So you getting to spin yourself all around, you feeling your anger, you feeling this frustration, you letting yourself experience all of it because you're human. And through experiencing all of it, these are the elements. The magician uses so many different elements to find their own personal power and to create in their life. This is you creating from frustration, creating from your anger, creating from your experience of desperation, you creating something brand new. So when the feeling doesn't feel as overwhelming, when you're not experiencing it as overwhelming, like the wind did when it was all turning itself around and it started to feel better, and you're feeling a bit more balanced, that's the moment to act. That's the moment to take all of these pieces, all of these cups that you've acquired on your journey, all these pieces of information, of data, and to ask yourself, okay, what next? What's the plan that I want to put together with this information? We have the Three of Knives. You've been working real hard, and it feels like frustration doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what you've been feeling around this endeavor. It's like you didn't realize that time could move this slowly, even though you're working so diligently. It feels like maybe you feel betrayed by life or by time or by this dream that you have. The Father of Sticks. So in the past, you might feel all these feelings, come to a place of calm, create a plan, keep working, and then get to a place of scarcity. And the whole cycle would start over again. This would be you trying to find another place. This would be you trying to make a new friend. This would be you starting over, going back to the drawing board. But from this new place of feeling how betrayed you feel and using that energy to create something new, to pour into this endeavor that you still want, this thing that you still want. Not only are you the magician, you're also the Father of Sticks. You're becoming this confident, courageous leader. This journey that you're on is making you into the type of leader or entrepreneur or lover or friend that you desire to be. And it may not feel that way right now, but it is. None of this is wasted. None of this is by circumstance. This level of waiting that you're doing, this level of diligent work that you're putting in, it's not for naught. The universe doesn't like to waste things. They don't. I don't think they believe in waste. And so we have the Knight of Cups, which tends to signify an offer, an emotional offer. Again, this feels like it's a full circle moment. You have 8 cups. You're walking away from all of these things that you've acquired in search of something new. And here's the offering. And the 3 of Coins. This offering may also lend to collaboration. You might not actually have to do it alone. And our affirmations, gratitude. Remember what you wanted when you wanted what you have now? Give thanks. Your grateful heart is a magnet for love and abundance. When you get to the place of feeling so frustrated and you feel more balanced and you're ready to start that plan, but it feels like, I can't quite start to put this plan into motion, or I don't know where to start with gratitude. Before you say, this is what I'm going to do, this is how productive I'm going to be, this is my goal, this is my intention, start with gratitude. I honor my intuition. I trust myself. There is a reason that you want this thing. There is something that you want to do in this world. There's something that you want to offer to other people. There's something that you want for yourself. Trust yourself. You don't have to give up on your dreams because they're not coming when you want them to. You don't. You're the magician. You're the Father of Sticks. Stand boldly in this new power, even when you're feeling really frustrated. Know that this is one of the blessings that you're coming into during this season, during Cancer season, and likely you'll feel it more. You'll start to feel that you're maybe not just at the beginning stages of it by Leo season, because Leo is fixed energy. Cancer is cardinal. So this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a really major shift in how you sit with and honor this blessing and honor your intuition around trusting yourself as you continue to move towards this thing that you desire. Good luck, pile number 1. If you are drawn to another reading in another pile in this reading, I will see you very soon. And if not, and this is where we part, I will catch you in the future. Take good care. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to read about sacred beginnings in my Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle deck by Mel Brown, and then we'll get into the tarot portion of your reading. Back when the sun was still weak and the world was still in its pre-dawn phase, the first seed nestled deep within the earth. began to fight its way to the surface. This tiny seed could feel the warmth of pre-dawn and wanted to push beyond its imprisonment within the earth to see what was creating this wonderful warmth it had never felt before. The little seed began to grow large roots to stabilize itself for its journey upward. As the seed continued to slowly push its way forth, the other seeds were watching in amazement. Never before in their familiar darkness had any other seed wanted to push upward to see where the new warmth was coming from. As the little seed emerged from the earth, it became a small but strong stem. And then, as it was no longer restricted by the soil in the earth, it spread its wings, which grew into leaves. The stem told the other seeds about his journey and growth above the soil, and the other seeds were so excited about the prospect of adventure, they decided they too wanted to grow and have new experiences. So, over the next thousands of years, many other seeds found their courage and became brave, covering the world with trees, bushes, and flowers, and most importantly, creating a new environment for animals and insects to be born into. Everything starts small, and to move forward takes incredible courage. The search for courage is the hardest part of any journey, but in turn is the ultimate achievement. From courage, you gain confidence, and whether it's just the confidence to give it a go, you're already winning. Take a deep breath and just move forward. I love this pile number 2. You're a courageous seed. You're going to do something maybe no one in your family has ever done before. Maybe no one in your friend group has ever thought of. You have the 7 of Cups. There is this wealth of opportunity and ideation that you have at this time. So many ideas. 5 of Swords. See how lonely a person is? Three swords, 2 down, 2 people walking away, seem defeated. The 8 of Wands. The 7 of Swords. Wow. So here the 2 swords are down, and here the 2 swords are upright. But here you have 3 swords, and here you have 4. No, 5. My bad. So you're upgrading. You're picking up even more. And swords represent mental energy. So you're picking up even more ideas, even more possibilities of what you could do to reach your 10 of Pentacles. I mean, it feels like the seed story just kind of speaks for itself. And all of these cards are confirming what the seed story had to say. This is the Hierophant. So maybe there's this opportunity with this sacred beginning. There is this opportunity to make a system or strategy out of these ideas that you have. There's an opportunity to plan really well and to be patient. To know that your harvest is coming because of all that you've planted, all that you've intended, all that you've willed, all that you've wanted. that ultimately there's still a need for a plan. Because without a plan, you may end up feeling really overburdened and disoriented with all of these ideas. Maybe you have been feeling this way already. You have the Five of Knives. So we have the Five of Swords, the Five of Knives. This is coming out twice in our reading. Quite a lot of mental energy. And the Father of Coins. So I'm sensing that there is a shift that's occurring for you. A shift from staying in your mental body of fantasizing about what could be into having a plan, into believing in yourself, into having courage that is backed up by action. And courage is what we do when we're terrified. Whether we're terrified that we're going to fail, we're terrified that we're going to succeed, but courage is facing that fear. Asking ourselves, what am I afraid of? Getting to know that fear. Because sometimes the fear, it's just like in horror movies, right? Sometimes the monster seems so much bigger because we keep our eyes shut and our imagination tells us that it's something really massive and we couldn't possibly fight it. We couldn't possibly find strategies. There's no way. But I'm seeing you here very strategic, very planful, and whispering words of encouragement to yourself to keep going and to keep growing, because you know that you can achieve the Ten of Pentacles and you know that you can become the Father of Coins, the Father of Pentacles. A really great leader in whatever endeavor you're thinking about. This is like a level up type of energy. Just as the seed story spoke about, Sacred Beginnings spoke about, the seed was just like all the other seeds. The only thing that was different about this seed is that they kept going. They kept believing that they could grow. And in so doing, they allowed curiosity and what they were feeling in their body. They were feeling this warmth and they were like, what is that up there? What's creating that warmth that I'm feeling? I want to know. You know how hard it is for a seed to grow through the soil? The first thing, like it said, is to put down roots. So to get to here, you need a really strong foundation. So what you may want to create in terms of systems and planning is what is at your foundation. You know where you want to go. You know what possibilities are up in the clouds. But what is at the foundation? What do you want to plant first? I am the source of my joy. I create my happy ever after. Yes, you do. Pile number 2. You are enough. You always have been. You always will be. Release attachment to relationships and achievements to feel worthy. This is going to take some time to create. This is going to take some time to manifest. So if you need the achievement or the accomplishment or the relationship being a certain way, if you need to see the Ten of Pentacles in order for you to feel the momentum to grow, you're going to feel stuck for quite some time. But if you can tap into the vision of what the Ten of Pentacles will be, if you can tap into the feeling of what the Ten of Pentacles will feel like, maybe that will keep fueling this fire that you have within to keep going and to keep growing. I will leave our reading here. Hopefully this has been encouraging for you and illuminating. If you are drawn to another pile in this reading, I will catch you very soon. And if not, if this is where we part, I will see you in the future. Take good care. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to first read Mother Nature's Balance in our Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle card book by Mel Brown, and then we'll get into the tarot portion of our reading. In the bush, another summer comes, bringing with it oppressive heat and little rain. But the plants know that they just have to survive the heat for a few weeks longer until the rain arrives and replenishes their strength and gives them vitality to survive another summer. But this year, when the rain comes, it doesn't stay for long, and there is not enough time to fully recover from the long, hot summer they just endured. The summer comes again quickly and stays for longer, with even less rain than the year before. The ground is cracked and scorched, and many of the less resilient plants are dying. This cycle repeats itself for 7 summers, with each summer bringing less and less rain than the previous year. Eventually, the drought breaks and rain comes in abundance. The rain brings with it new plants that have never grown in the bush before, creating food for different types of animals that have not inhabited this bush for many years. Before long, the birth and creation of different animals and plants makes the bush a wonderland of the precious sounds of life. You need to find balance between work and life. You've got yourself believing that neither can survive without you. But it's you who feels you can't survive without them. Everyone will benefit if you step away and allow them to step up, because at that time, you enable them to remain stuck. Because otherwise, you enable them to remain stuck because you won't let them have a chance. They may not do it as well as you, but they also won't mess it up either. All right, so let's see what your tarot cards have to say in alignment with this message. Queen of Pentacles. Love that. This is the card that I think of when I think work-life balance. King of Wands. Wonderful. Three of Cups. Queen of Swords. And Two of Cups. So what I'm seeing already is that an opportunity for work-life balance, you embody a greater balance between what you consider your work, whether that's things that you do for money or whether that's service work, healing work, emotional labor when you show up for other people. The things that you do out of the generosity of your heart, the things that you are passionate about, or the things that you do for money, there is a shifting that's occurring because your boundaries are becoming more clear at this time. And you exercising your boundaries is going to lead to a lot more celebration for you. And may also free up some room for more love and more connection. We have the big queen, which is the Empress, clarifying the Queen of Pentacles. Father Sims, which is the Temperance card, clarifying the King of Wands. So even more around balance being needed. The Son of Baskets, clarifying the Three of Cups. The Ten of Coins, clarifying the Queen of Swords. And the Ancestors, or the Death card, clarifying the Two of Cups. So something that I'm sensing is a cycle, very similar to what this story spoke about. Mother Nature's balance, right? We're trying to find the balance for your work, for your life, between you and Mother Nature. And the same way that this story spoke of a cycle of summer coming too quickly and there not being enough rain, there not being enough abundance, and it impacting the less resilient plants, what I'm seeing is there is a cycle that's coming to an end. There's a cycle that's changing for you. Pile number 3. There is something that is shifting around how you show up in your relationships and how you show up in your life. You're creating more room for celebration. You're creating more room for abundance. You're creating more room for sustenance. You're creating more room for joy. Because there is a shifting where instead of everything is for the service of others, or your whole life is meant to be in servitude, it's shifting so that you are at the center of it. And the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress still serves other people. The King of Wands is still an amazing leader, as is the Queen of Swords. But ensuring that you're tending to you actually it may make you an even more compassionate leader. It may make you an even more boundaried soul. And boundaries not in the sense of walls that are put up so that other people can stay out, but boundaries in the sense of needs that you have being met or being close to met, whether by others and in community or by yourself, so that you can continue to show up in these wonderful ways that you enjoy doing so. Gone are the days of working so hard that there's no time left for your creative endeavors, that there's no time left for your rest, that there's no time left for you to dream into something new or to invest in yourself. Maybe you want to learn something or go out on your own or do your own thing as an entrepreneur or a freelancer or a creative. This energy is really reminding me of Beyonce's new song, Break My Soul. If you haven't listened to it, I would encourage you to. And if you have already, listen to it one more again, because that is the energy of your summer solstice. That's the energy the summer solstice is bringing in. Nobody can break your soul. Let's see what affirmations you have. Shift your focus off the problems to see the solutions. You have all you need. You have all you need, pile number 3, inside of you. You have all you need to create something brand new in your life. Surrender. What you can't control is teaching you how to let go. Cancer season is a wonderful time to work with the energy of surrender because of how Cancers are so focused on nostalgia and the past and end up grieving quite a bit. This is a really opportune time to allow yourself to let go, to allow yourself to shift your focus, to allow yourself to grieve. Grieve what didn't become. Grieve what you thought it would be. Grieve the timing that you thought it was going to be. Grieve how hard it is. Allow yourself to feel it all, because things are changing. Things are really changing. If you are drawn to another pile in this reading, I will see you very soon. And if not, let's pause our reading here and I'll catch you in the future. Bye. Take good care. Hello, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. First, we're going to read from the Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle book by Mel Brown about seasons change, the oracle card that you pulled when you were drawn to pile number 4. And then we're going to get into the tarot portion of your reading. In the dream time, the young black swan spent many hours of day preening themselves to ensure that his handsome feathers were shiny and bright. All the other swans thought that he was vain and had no time for him, so his life was somewhat lonely. After being mocked by his family and friends, he decided to go on a walkabout and travel the land. And on his travels, he met a duckling. She was still growing and was at an awkward stage and hadn't yet developed into a swan. And she fell in love with the handsome swan, but her feelings were not reciprocated, as the older swan had ideas of what having a mate as beautiful as him could be. He went on his way, leaving her behind with a broken heart. A year later, the handsome swan returned to find the most beautiful swan he had ever seen floating aimlessly on the pond. It took him a while, but he realized that this was the duckling from last year and that she had indeed grown into a beautiful swan, but had also found herself a new mate. This time, it was he who left the pond with a broken heart, realizing that his vanity had cost him the love of this beautiful swan. He was never able to find another partner for the rest of his life. Dang. As we grow, our relationships change, and we need to adapt to the change or risk being left behind or even losing them. It's not always easy. If change is what your relationships need right now, then consider the challenge as an investment in your future, remembering that sometimes leaving a relationship may be the challenge you have to face. Whether you stay or go, if you integrate some changes now, it may avert heartache in the future. Let's see what these cards have to say about these seasons changing. The Devil. Okay, coming out swinging, pile number 4. The 9 of Pentacles. The 4 of Wands. The 9 of Swords. And the 5 of Pentacles. Clarified by Dr. Grant, the Hermit. The Mother of Coins is clarifying the 9 of Pentacles. The 6 of Coins, clarifying the 4 of Wands. Miss Robinson, so this is the Devil. Devil has come out now twice in the reading, clarifying the 9 of Swords. And the 3 of Baskets, clarifying the 5 of Pentacles. So what I see, pile number 4, is this summer solstice offering you an exit strategy, a way out, an opportunity to think of your circumstances in a different way and to shift. This is like a massive internal paradigm shift, to shift from being attached to a particular outcome in a relationship or in your relationship with yourself. What I'm seeing is a shifting from you feeling so horrible about yourself so much of the time, you being very critical of yourself, you getting really hard on yourself and down on yourself, you degrading yourself. I'm seeing a shift from that through some really quality alone time. Not the alone time that means You're just on your phone, you're just scrolling, you're not really engaged with what you're doing. But the alone time that is rooted in self-care, that if you do get on your phone, it's because you need to do something that's stimulating, but also doesn't use too much brain power because maybe your brain is tired. That you're choosing the things that you are in an effort to support yourself, in an effort to actually make yourself feel better or lighter or freer. And that through this process of tending to you really deeply, and of rooting the fears, getting to the root of some of these major core wounds and fears that you have, and worry and anxiety, like what are the beliefs? What are the thoughts? What are the sensations? Getting to the deep roots of them and tending to yourself, you're finding that there's going to be some satisfaction within your relationships. There's going to be more room for reciprocity because something really shifts. Let's say you're having a lot of bickering with your partner or partners or good friend or in your work environment. Something shifts when you're able to notice, oh, when this thing happens, I'm getting triggered. And the thing that I'm triggered into doesn't have anything to do with this relationship. It has to do with past things. Something happens when we're able to see, name, and own what's going on for us. And if we feel safe enough, if we feel connected enough, if the relationship has room for it, we show up to the relationship and we say, hey, I'm sorry that I reacted that way. I reflected on it and I realized that when you said this to me, it reminded me of that time that my mom did that, or that my ex-partner went here or did this or talked to me this way. And I know that there's still some healing for me to do, but I just wanted to let you know that this is what was showing up for me. It would be really helpful if in the future, if I'm reacting a particular way, you ask me, hey, what's going on? This is feeling really big. Is this about you and me right now, or is this about something from the past? If you could just help me in those moments, if you could remind me, if you could point me, oh, are you triggered right now, babe? Love, friend? Are you here with me right now, or is this about something else? That would be really helpful. Or it would be really helpful if you don't use a phrase like this that you used, because it's still really tender for me. So what I'm seeing is by you owning and naming and knowing what's going on for you, and that maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with this relationship, except that this relationship is where it's coming up. So by you owning what's coming up for you and you naming it and you starting to do the work on it or continuing to do the work on it, I'm seeing more satisfaction and more celebration within this connection. Because I think sometimes, depending on where someone is in their healing journey, the person receiving that information, a lot of times, they love you, they have compassion for you. They're like, oh, okay. Well, if you can own your stuff and you know that that's not about me, I didn't do that I'm not actually hurting you in this moment, but that something hurts and I'm touching something that hurts, yeah, maybe I can try to remind you in the moment. Or if I can't, I can try to be mindful about that phrase that I use or that I used that time. But in this, what I'm seeing is a shifting from the responsibility being on your partner or friend or person to figure out what's going on with you. It's a shifting from they need to be able to read your mind. They need to be able to anticipate what you need. They can just be themselves and you can just be yourself and you can take care of you. You can take care of you. When you're noticing that the bickering may be starting more or you're getting triggered more often, you may need more self-care time. You may need more time with you. You may need more baths, more walks, more meditation, whatever the things are for you, more journaling. You may need more, if you really like to connect with this friend or partner, you really like to be around them, y'all may need to have silent time, nonverbal time together. It's harder to get triggered when nobody's talking. You still might, though. And if you do, it may then be time for time by yourself. So allow yourself to take this in increments. Allow yourself to notice what's happening within you and attempt when you can, where you can, to not project what's happening within you onto the person. They may not be doing things to hurt you, but trauma, triggers, grief, past experiences, past relationships, the things that you learned from the past, anxiety, being hard on yourself, all of those things may be working together to tell you that this person or these people are now against you in some way. Notice that that is a reflection of something that's going on inside of you. There is something going on inside of you. There is a part of you that is feeling neglected, or there is a part of you that is trying to protect you. But you get to find out. You get to do that deeper self-inquiry. And you get to find out what part of you is speaking in those moments. Let's see what affirmations we have. Trust the wait. Just when the caterpillar thought their life was over, they began to fly. Embrace the uncertainty. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. You are transforming. That is, I would say, the main message of the season changing. It's really difficult when the season is changing. It's really tumultuous. It's really uncomfortable. And it's the beginning or the part that we can notice of the transformation that's happening. So anxieties may be coming up, grief may be coming up, inner critic may be talking real loud, triggers, trauma. Things may be coming up now in a bigger way than they have before. But they're coming up because you're changing, you're shifting. And mind your business. Let others do what they want. You can't change anyone. And keep your distance from those who drain you. That just speaks for itself. That just speaks for its own self. So notice that the parts of you are coming up, likely to either protect you or to love on you in some way. But if they're starting to say, that person is doing this because they are this and they are that, look, you don't know. It's time to mind your business. You don't know. You can have a hunch, you can have a guess, you can have an inkling, but it's time to keep your eyes on your own paper. It's time to keep your eyes fixed on you and on what you need. Not what you need someone else to do for you to feel better, but what you just need because you are you. We'll pause our reading here. I hope that you take good care. I hope that you found something encouraging in this message, and I'll catch you in the future. Bye.